The year was 1976, and the United States was deep in the spirit of its bicentennial celebrations. On a warm June evening at Wolftrap National Park for the Performing Arts, luminaries gathered to honor Kay Shouse's 80th birthday. Catherine Philine Shouse, a visionary philanthropist, had donated the land and funds to create Wolftrap, the nation's first national park dedicated to the performing arts. This event was a testament to her legacy and the seamless fusion of public and private efforts to promote American culture. President Gerald Ford's attendance highlighted the significance of the occasion, underscoring the nation's acknowledgement of Shouse's extraordinary contributions. Amid the festivities, a photograph captured three pivotal figures of 1970s and 1980s American history: Elliott Richardson, James A. Baker Roman III, and William E. Simon. Their presence at this cultural celebration symbolized the interconnectedness of politics, economics, and culture in shaping the nation's future. By 2025, their influence remains deeply embedded in the political and economic fabric of the country. Elliott Richardson, the standard-bearer of integrity. At 55 years old in 1976, Elliott Richardson already stood out as a paragon of public service and ethical governance. Wearing a bold plaid tuxedo that perfectly captured the era's adventurous fashion sense, Richardson exuded the individuality and integrity for which he was known. His most defining moment had come just a few years earlier during the Watergate scandal. As Attorney General, Richardson famously resigned rather than comply with President Nixon's order to fire Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox in what became known as the Saturday Night Massacre. This principled stand earned him bipartisan respect and a lasting place in history as a model of ethical courage. Richardson went on to serve in various roles, including as ambassador to the United Kingdom, but his refusal to compromise his values defined his legacy. He passed away in 1999 at the age of 79. Today, in 2025, Richardson is remembered as an example of how integrity can shape history, a lesson that remains vital for leaders navigating modern challenges. James Baker, the master strategist. In the center of the photo, 46-year-old James Baker Roman III exuded understated elegance in a classic black tuxedo, a fitting symbol of his pragmatic and disciplined approach to power. In 1976, Baker was still building his Washington career, working on President Ford's re-election campaign. Over the next 2 decades, he would become one of the most influential political figures of his time, serving as White House Chief of Staff under both Reagan and Bush, Secretary of the Treasury, and Secretary of State. Baker's legacy as a master strategist is unparalleled. He played a key role in shaping conservative policies during the Reagan Revolution and managed critical negotiations that helped end the Cold War. Now in his 90s, Baker remains active as of 2025, offering insights on governance and diplomacy and continuing to be a voice of reason in an increasingly polarized political climate. His classic black tie at Wolftrap reflected his timeless style, mirroring the adaptability and sophistication that defined his career. William Simon, the financial powerhouse. On the right, 48-year-old William Simon embodied the gravitas of an economic statesman in a sharp black tuxedo. As Secretary of the Treasury under Nixon and Ford, Simon played a critical role in navigating the economic turmoil of the 1970s, including high inflation and the energy crisis. A staunch advocate of free market principles, Simon championed deregulation and fiscal discipline, laying the groundwork for the conservative economic policies of the 1980s. After leaving public office, Simon became a pivotal figure in the financial world. As a co-founder of Westray Capital Corporation, he helped pioneer the leveraged buyout model, transforming corporate America and amassing significant wealth. His book A Time for Truth 1978 became a manifesto for the conservative movement, advocating for smaller government and individual responsibility. Simon passed away in 2000 at the age of 72, but his impact on the modern financial and conservative landscape remains profound in 2025. His classic tuxedo at Wolftrap reflected his adherence to tradition, much like his enduring belief in the principles of free markets. As the world grapples with new challenges in 2025, the legacies of these three men offer timeless lessons on governance, diplomacy, and economic stewardship. They remind us that history is not merely shaped by grand events, but also by the individuals who rise to meet their moment.